Milestyle hailing frequencies are open.
Okay, we're on.
The opinions expressed in tonight's podcast are those of the individuals speaking. They do not necessarily reflect the views of HarrisFilm Productions or its other crew members.
This is Steve Harry Harris and the HarrisFilm Crew. Matt Arnold. Mark Ferguson.
Oh, good night.
Roy Ivey. And Ken Mays. Wake up, man. We're going to actually watch and review our first film, Captain Roth's Final Message. This was a combined effort with another filmmaker known as Effecto Studios. And in that case, Jeff actually was the backbone of the production. He was instrumental in this thing getting done and actually out.
Yes. The time has finally come to premiere our film. It shall be premiered at the highest amount of excellence.
So, without further ado, here's Captain Roth's Final Message.
This is Captain Roth. This may be my one and only chance of transmission to the outside. I have been wrongfully imprisoned, and I have done nothing wrong. This was an attempt to delete me from the system in Starfleet. I am now left for dead on Mud's planet, which is run by the androids. Very, very weak. Commodore Boone has freed Harry Mudd from the android's custody in exchange for my own imprisonment and silence.
I've recently made a startling discovery in the comms logs. I'm choosing not to disclose that information at this time. However, there's only one other person aboard this ship I can trust with this kind of information.
Personal log. JT Stahl recording. Computer, what time is it? Give me the start date and insert it into the personal log.
The time is 0100 hours on Thursday, February 14, 2267. The date is 4762.29.
Okay. Continue recording. Today marks the 4th month that I've been on board USS Columbia as security chief, but the circumstances are very strange. After Captain Roth disappeared, everyone he knows, whether they were close friends and associates or just acquaintances, were transferred from whatever command they were at. Everyone on board USS Crytek was also reassigned for no good explanation. This order was given by none other than Commodore Boone. Nobody knows where Captain Roth is. Not even Starfleet intelligence. How do you say goodbye to your best friend? I'm hoping, maybe, by officiating the services tomorrow on board this ship, that I can bring some comfort and closure to at least the crew of USS Columbia. What's that?
Commander Stahl, you have a priority 1 encrypted message from Lieutenant Griffin. It is marked top secret for your eyes only.
Okay, put it through.
Commander, I've just discovered a deleted log file from our comms logs. You're definitely going to want to check this out. Watch this in a secure and private location. Let me know how you want to proceed. Lieutenant Griffin out.
Okay, passcode, decrypt.
This is Captain Roth. I have been wrongfully imprisoned. Commodore Boone has freed Harry Mudd from the android's custody.
What?
In exchange for my own imprisonment and silence.
I'll fix his little red wagon. It's good to have close friends in low places at a time like this. I know just who to call. Computer, open hailing frequencies.
Hailing frequencies are open.
Who is calling me?
Dylan, it's Commander Stahl.
Who is calling me this late?
Dylan, this is Commander Stahl, USS Columbia.
This is actually
Security officer.
at 1 a.m.
Remember?
in the morning.
Yeah, 1 a.m.
Yeah, for real.
I know.
What?
This is Commander Stahl. I have some... Yes, I need you to listen. There's an encrypted attachment.
Who's calling?
This is Commander Stahl of the USS Columbia. Security officer. Check the attachment.
What? Where? Send me the data packet.
Yes, okay. Here you go.
Transmission complete.
If you need anything else, let me know. Commander Stahl, out.
I've been missing for approximately 4 months now. It wasn't long after my message to Commodore Boone about the Vulcan ambassador that I went missing. This was a personal attack against me. I knew things that Boone never wanted me to know, and I had to be silenced. He couldn't afford for the truth against him to be leaked. Boone and his crew had tracked down the location of the USS Crytek. and intercepted my ship. I thought it was just going to be another friendly meetup. And instead I was captured. Boone and his men had assaulted me and my crew. My ship was completely blindsided by his attack. I am now a prisoner on Mud's planet. This planet is run by androids. Approximately 200,000 of them, who are very strong. You cannot fight them. So far, I've barely stayed alive. I don't know how much longer I will continue to survive in these conditions on this planet in their custody. This is my final message. Boone, if by chance you receive this, consider this a warning. I will stop at nothing to bring you and your men to justice. Captain Roth. Out.
We're coming for you, Roth. Hang tight. We're coming. Get my ship ready. Now. The cavalry is on its way. Set base to direct MP mode. I want every android on that rock deactivated.
Alrighty then. So I'm going to go to Mark first because, as far as I know, you haven't seen that before.
I saw a little bit of it.
Okay. So
The freshest eyes. Yeah.
Yeah, you're the freshest eyes in the room. Now, don't hurt. It's not like you're going to hurt my feelings. This is a year old. It was our first effort. It was a love letter to Star Trek. You know.
Okay.
So go from there.
I like the intro, and I really like that, like the galactic background and the red background. That was very cool.
Yeah.
It was really clearly laid out with a star date and who the characters are. And I thought that the music at the end was really, or the music kind of throughout, it was very loud. It was almost kind of drowned out some of the characters' voices.
Wasn't quite balanced. Okay.
Yeah,
That's fair.
it was a little bit loud. And the credits at the end went way too quick.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they usually flash them quick and things anyway because maybe a lot of people don't sit through them. But I think the Star Trek fans out there would like to see that so they could check things out and whatnot.
And
but
see
I liked it.
So yeah, you think that it was too quick to read.
Right.
I mentioned that too whenever it was produced, and Jeff Barnes was the meat and potatoes of that production. He did all of the music. Okay, all original music by Jeff Barnes. He goes by Jeff Thomas Music. The special effects were the models that were done. You know, that was Mark Craig over in the UK, And of course, you saw the Columbia by Ken Mays' Columbia is amazing. Okay. But the other effects that you mentioned were touched up photos and things like that Jeff did in Adobe After Effects.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Nice.
So, and then there were some other stock shot type things that we can download for free that were used. But, for example, the interior of the cockpit of that ship, that was something that was free that we found online that kind of matched the exterior of that shuttlecraft. So we went with it. But
it was very eye-catching. It was very eye-catching, that part of it was. I really liked that.
What about the doorway opening whenever that was at the end?
That seemed to be okay. I was okay with that.
I was a little worried about that because I combined a shot of an interior of the Enterprise, the corridor in the Enterprise with that other stuff. And I was kind of worried it didn't quite blend.
What I'd like to have seen probably was each person that was speaking had some type of a virtual background that was, maybe it's from their ship and other people's ship, but if everyone had some type of virtual background, it wouldn't be as choppy. But yeah, the backgrounds were, and the props looked really well.
Except for mine.
Mine was the actual background of here in the background, which it was totally different back then.
Yeah, it's a little different than it is right now, but it worked, okay? And when my wife saw it, I said, what do you think of that background? And she's like, I don't have a problem with that. It looks like he's in a workshop or something, and I don't know if he's on a ship or a station or what. It doesn't matter. I don't care where he is. What I care about is where he's going. What's he going to do about the problem? So is that how you felt?
It fits the character too. Now, since you mention it like that, since they knew the person had been working too long, or he said things several times that really matched his character. So the background was someone that fidgets and works with a lot of different things, but yet they could put something together like that when they need to.
And see, that was exactly what we were going for, right, Matt?
Yeah, George Dillon is a retired Starfleet officer. He was he's also part of Section 31, and he was a Starfleet captain for a while in the Starfleet, and he just got tired of the bureaucrat BS, so he retired from it.
Yeah, so he was the captain of the Miranda before he became the captain of the Albatross. Right,
and he decided to just go ahead and retire at Salisbury Colony. And then when he got that message, when he got a message from
Stahl.
Yeah, that's when he acted. He had still enough connections to get what he needs at the time. Yeah. And that's the thing about the character of Dillon.
Right. And your last duty station before you retired was the Albatross. You were in the Albatross during the war. So, all right. So
one thing that you had mentioned that I thought was really cool is you said that people from like the UK and the United States, all these people putting things together.
Right.
I just think that is very impressive, and it shows how people are excited. And when other people are watching this and they hear that, they go, wow, all these other people have all these specialties and they all put it together. I just think that is really neat. Shows that the community is out there.
Thank you. I think so too. I'm really impressed that people were interested enough to help us out. Like Mark Craig, he's got like 4 books out of his dioramas. Okay. So, I mean, it's not like he's unknown in the UK. People know him. Okay. People know Mark. Same with the actor that we have from the UK, Christopher Lee Power. He is an actor who lives in the Liverpool area. It's called Worrell, is the town near Liverpool. And he and Mark are buddies. So And Mark Craig says, "Hey, I got an idea. You need a captain. I got a guy. Here, interview this guy." So, we got him for USS Miranda, captain, Captain Kutcher. And of course, you're in Washington State, right?
Yep.
Matt and I are in Alabama, and Ken's over in Texas, and Roy's in St. Louis. Now we're gonna all be stalked.
I really like that.
What's your impression for a rating? Now, don't worry about hurting my feelings, because personally, when it was released, I loved it, and I gave it 2 thumbs up. Seriously, I gave it 2 thumbs up. I was so happy it was done. It was released. People were seeing it. We were getting attention. Now, looking back, I see the flaws. I was really disappointed about my backgrounds not coming out, that kind of a thing. We didn't have the time under a time crunch to release that with new backgrounds. So we went with what we had. And I'm thinking about doing a director's cut with new backgrounds. But at this point, the way it is, what would you give it out of our 1 thumb up, 2 thumb up, or whatever? Or if you've got a different type of rating system you want to try?
Okay, well, let's say with the 2 thumbs up, I mean, from the time that it was created and what you had with it at the time and the way that it was meant to be put together, 2 thumbs up.
Okay, because we had 4 people. Yeah, I mean, it was like 4 people involved. And
I'm going to tell you why. Other than some of the small things, like the sound and whatnot, you can see that, in the rearview mirror. But the reason I still give it 2 thumbs up is now that I hear about how the community is from Alabama to Washington to the UK put this all together, that shows excitement and, a lot of happiness to put it together, a lot of collaboration for the project to come together. I think that's 2 thumbs up for that for sure, because that was all part of putting that together.
All right. Well, I appreciate that. I'm not sure everybody else feels the same way at this point, because, we're looking at it through the rearview mirror and we know the flaws. Roy was a big advisor on this film. And I don't know how many versions we showed you, Roy. I can't remember, but I only have access to the final product. And it's in a lot of ways, it's due to your eagle eyes and advice on how to cut things here and there and rearrange and that kind of thing before I really got my feet wet in the editing again. So what do you think?
I'd be hesitant to make any changes in it. Maybe I have rose-colored glasses on now, but
well, originally
this is. As I often say, whatever else, it's a movie's made in the final cut, and it's hard to eliminate something you worked very hard on and cut pieces away from it, but. You have to serve the story, and the main ingredient in this is, of course, Jeff Barnes. He did a fantastic job from start to finish.
Yeah.
The very beginning, the acting, just a terrific plus for us was how it started. Whatever else, starting the movie off with him on the floor of a of a dungeon, whatever else, and grunting and growling and whatever else, and under at his wit's end, I think really made the movie. It made you interested in what was going on, and the sound is just incredible.
Absolutely.
I can tell you from this, with these magnificent headphones, whatever else, that it is amazing the layers that Jeff put into this. I mean, it has sound throughout the entire film, and there is a lot of stuff going on.
Right.
A lot of stuff. I can't even detail out what was happening with the sound, and it was very subtle.
Yes.
It was very subtle, and it changed in seconds. It just changed with what the mood was, and it went with the entire movie. You know,
Right.
So I'm terribly impressed with Jeff, and I wish we had his services because this was a masterpiece. You know, and it was his first shot at this, really. You know, of course he's fantastic at the music, and he's very trained in that. But as far as the rest of the movie stuff was him just working it out on the go, you know.
Right.
And he was motivated. And this movie came together in what, a week?
It was about a week, a week and a half, something like that.
A week, you know, and I commend him that he accepted almost everything that I suggested for changes, and you know, they were just little clips here and there. You know, I don't know if I could take a lot of credit for the success, but it's just trying to make it as sharp as possible. You know, and the story is efficient, and it tells it does everything that we wanted it to do, and we made an impact in the very beginning. You know, so. And it's a gift that keeps on going. You know, I mean, it continues to get more and more views, you know, as time goes on. You know, a good, steady stream of views that is just very good. And I think it does everything we wanted it to do. And, you know, the sequel is going to be tough. You know, to make it as this, you know, especially, you know, without Jeff. But it's, you know, a lot of things can happen, you know, and people want to know what happened to, you know, Captain Roth, you know, and I think we owe it to him to do the best job we can.
I agree. Well,
and
you know, so would you give it a 1.5 thumbs up?
I got to give it 2. I think the movie's great. You know, even your I'm not that big of a fan of where you have to have backgrounds. Right. I don't think it is necessary. You know, it was sparse, and it's and I believe you were on a spaceship, you know.
Yeah,
and, you know, and you did some interesting stuff with that too. You know, you convinced people you had a Starfleet uniform on, and
yeah, that's
you
true.
did, you know. I may be outing that, whatever else, but that's you know, we use movie magic as much as we can, you know, to make these things work and happen. I guess the only real criticism I have of it is that. You know, there's not enough Vanden Boss in the film, but other than that, you know, it's a perfect film. It's a standard I would be completely happy with hitting. You know,
I agree.
You know, so it's you know, it's, as I said, it's a little piece of magic. I think that we did very well with it, and you know, that's what we need to strive to do the best we can. It's
excellent. All right. So Matt, dude, let me tell you something about Matt here. Now, back when this was released, the guys in Australia, what are they called? Mentioning Trek Mentions or something like that. Those guys. Yeah. They were all over this film, man. It was like we could do no wrong. And then they found out we were associated with somebody else at one time. And they're like, oh, well, those guys, they're breaking the guidelines for Star Trek rules or whatever they call them. And like, then we can't give them anything. It's like, but they still gave Jeff an award for music. And I get that right there shows that in spite of their prejudice, Jeff Barnes' music is supreme.
Yeah, he wrote. Jeff wrote every bit of that music in the FL Studio.
Right, FL Studio. Yeah,
I have FL Studio myself. And speaking of Jeff Barnes, I will be seeing him tomorrow.
Well, this is recorded in November 2024, so
It won't be
we're going to
seen
air
till-
this on February 14th. But
Yeah, which
yes,
it'd be by the time you see this, he's already been here and gone. So, but I did
hopefully
have
he's
a part.
watching.
Yeah, if you're watching, then. But you know, I also wrote a little bit of script on this.
Right.
I was it was spur of the moment. I got with Steve and Jeff and throwed my little part in there.
Right.
And it just spurred a moment. Right in the middle of the night, about 1 o'clock in the morning, and I just about had all the lights turned off in here, and I had the script. I had that monitor right here on my big screen. The light was just right to film that.
Yeah.
And I filmed it and done that and sent it to Steve to be part of that. And there's a couple things that I probably would have done. It added in there when it shows Steve had a little bit of static in there, like what?
Right.
Like it's hard to receive his signal.
Yeah, we thought about doing that. We did think about it, but we didn't want to delay the release.
Yeah, but that was one of our first videos that we've done, and we came a long ways from that point. We have a lot more people. We got Mr. Ken with us now with the CGI. We got a lot of good actors. It's here. I'm not that good of an actor anyway, so.
Hey, you came across fantastic in this movie, dude. I've had all kinds of compliments on your acting on this movie.
Yeah, I played in I Warp Prime with Vance Major and them with No Budget Production. I played as Cody Dillon in I Warp Prime. I done a part in that, and that was the first one I ever done any acting in. And this in here, it was a spur of the moment thing with some of the script that I throwed in there and wrote the script, some of it.
Right.
And
well, we don't always stick strictly to what's written on paper. If your character will feels differently when you're delivering the lines, then let's go with what's natural.
Right. Absolutely. I had a big part in it, and in this, and I Pro all the while scene. There's maybe a couple things that we could have added in and made better. Like Mark said, the at the end when it's scrolling the credits, that should have went a little bit slower, showing. But other than that, everything thumbs up.
Okay. Well, yeah, that was up to the editor, and Jeff was the main editor. I only did suggestions on that one. I was editing in a totally different suite than I'm using now, and was considering getting the same thing that he was using, but it's so expensive.
Oh, it is.
I just couldn't do it. So, anywho, appreciate your thoughts. Now, not to leave Ken out, Ken Mays is our VFX artist who provided the USS Columbia on that film. And then afterwards, we started building up a library of stock shots and producing things for our upcoming films. So, Ken, how do you feel about Captain Roth's final message?
It was pretty good. I did note there was one small editing error.
Okay.
First time you show Dylan, you show first a shot of the Columbia, and it made it appear as though he was on the Columbia.
Right, and it should have been a shot of another ship, or
it should have been a shot of the Albatross,
or even the planet where he lived.
Yeah.
And we didn't have the Albatross at the time, so
yeah. Well, that's another thing, is that now we've got a inconsistency because the ship that was shown had USS Albatross clearly marked on it.
Yeah,
and the Albatross we have now is different.
It also said Commando Shuttle 1.
That is just the shuttle in.
It's just the shuttle.
That's just a
that could work. But
Yeah.
when you do your director's edition, you need to insert a shot of the current albatross.
Okay.
And if you can ever get me good orthos of that model of the commando shuttle, I can do a 3D model of it and do a shot of it emerging from the cargo bay of the
that'd be cool.
albatross.
Yeah, that would be really cool. All right, well, stay tuned.
But other than that, I didn't have any problem with it, other than the fact when Roth was dictating his message, I kept wondering, why is he laying on the floor, and why is the pickup down on the floor with him? Yeah.
But see, that'll be explained in the sequel, In Deep Mud. And I'll go ahead and give you a spoiler alert. Harry Mudd's wandering around with a little dictaphone that's like a baseball style thing, and he accidentally dropped it and it rolled into the cell. So when that happened, even though Roth is bound up, he was able to activate the thing, record a message, and send. So spoiler alert, there's your answer.
All right, well, that makes sense. Because like I said, I've seen this twice now, and both times I was confused at that scene. Like, why is the comm station down on the floor?
Yeah. And see, that's the thing. You want to raise some questions, right? Get people interested in the sequel. So, any other questions or comments?
No, Belle liked it.
Cool.
She won't admit it, but she liked it.
So is it rate a thumb up or what?
Yeah, 1 3/4 of a thumb.
Okay, almost 2.
Yeah, like I said, that editing error. That one, because like I said, it threw me. It look like Dylan was on the Columbia.
Yeah,
and I was like,
yeah. Other than that,
right, I agree. Okay.
Okay. A little nitpick. A couple of little nitpicks I had with it was that I agree with Mark that the credits run way too fast.
Yeah,
and
that was just
if someone's involved in the movie, they should be recognized a little better. But one reason why we did that, or why Jeff did that, is because he didn't want to lose the fans watching it at the end, because if you from YouTube analytics, you lose people during the last minute of the film. So if you have a long credit scene, it hurts you on the back end. But I think you just have to accept that. Whatever you have there is going to drop off, and people deserve to get recognized at the end. Also, the other thing is the title fonts.
Yeah,
I've had some criticism from the very beginning, and it was like I think the K is messed up or something, or something very important.
Yeah, the X. It's
the X.
Yeah, the beginning of the thing. Hold on, I'll show you.
It's completely unrecognizable what that letter is. You know what it's supposed to be, but it doesn't look like the letter at all. So
I told him that.
Not a bad font. It looks okay, but whatever letter it is, it just messes the whole thing up with.
Yes, that was one of the comments. If you look at
that's
the
an
comments,
X is not.
It looks like an H, right? So one of the first things I did when Fecto Studios left our group is I changed the font to Roddenberry, and it's a definite X now if I redo the credits. So, but yeah, and also Jeff was big on that second title, Exiled, Imprisoned, Deleted. That was part of the script, and it was his baby, and that's fine. Captain Roth's final message: exiled, imprisoned, deleted. It makes perfect sense. It gives the lead in to what's going to happen. And for me, it just works. But if you can't read it, then it doesn't work. So, yes, I agree. I understand totally with your comment. And we had a lot of comments like that. What is that? What's E-hailed? You know, E-H-I-L. What does that mean? And it's okay. It's okay, Jeff. Don't worry about it. We're going to rib you for the rest of your life. You just have to deal with it.
Give it 2 thumbs up.
Where was Ken? Ken?
2 thumbs up.
Okay.
I judge each one on its own merits. I'm tough. I do not give credit for effort. I give credit for what is actually on screen.
All right. Well, I'll abstain from voting because I was so involved in this. But I appreciate your vote of confidence and your compliments. And I look forward to working with you on In Deep Mud, which is now in production. That's it for tonight from HarrisFilm Productions. We hope you enjoyed our show. Captain Roth's final message: 2 thumbs up.
Good night.
Okay.
Good night.
From Task Force 78.
Good night. You don't have to go home, but you can't stay here.
Hailing frequencies are closed. Transmission complete.